Yeah, you're in some. In Europe, a year in the Netherlands, and a year in Germany. So, but I went to school. I went to undergrad at UC San Diego. So, I didn't want to go to UCLA because it was in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember a number of times for visits and things. And then
Testing,
Berkeley was
testing,
really close to where I
testing.
grew up. And I didn't want to have a.
We are now testing.
You know.
We are testing
too
some
close
more.
to home.
We continue to test.
Parents might get ideas. Hey,
Testing is what we do here at Testing
Yeah,
Corporation.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, we'll tell them.
Yeah, you can hear me talking in particular. Yeah.
So for the audience out there, you are getting picked up on a mic there, so keep things quiet when we're actually doing the presentations.
Okay.
I mean, other than applause and, you know.
We all try not
things
to
like that.
speak when other people.
Like those guys?
Testing, testing, testing. Can never get enough of testing. Everyone loves testing.
Speaking of tests.
Oh man, I would imagine it was super cold in this last storm.
If you've joined us just a bit early on the internet, we'll be getting started in the next few minutes.
Saying intentionally off screen. Walking the line.
managed to turn myself invisible. I'm actually directly in front of the camera. One final test. I'm Benjamin Ellinger. I'm the director of the game design degrees here at DigiPen Institute of Technology, and I would like to welcome you, especially everyone in this room, but also everyone watching on the internet, to the 2015 Student Showcase. What we do at this showcase is we show a huge array of the games that have been made at DigiPen this year. Now, it's not all of them. It's at least half, maybe a third. So there's a lot more than what you're even going to see here. But this is a selection of a lot of the games that were made at our Redmond campus. It's not even including the ones that are Singapore campus or our Bilbao campus. But this is an example of the type of work that students do at DigiPen every single year. We've got a lot of great games to show you. The students will be coming up and presenting them, showing videos of their game and what they've done. We've got freshman games, sophomore games, junior games, senior games, and master's games, and a couple of special ones that we're going to throw in there as well. Now, if you are a DigiPen student or even staff, you can vote on these games at the DigiPen survey at survey.digipen.edu. You can actually go and vote on these games for the award show that will be done later this evening at 8 o'clock. We'll stream those as well, so if you want to come back later, if you're on the internet, and actually see who wins some of the awards we're giving out, you can do that as well. But this showcase is just all about showing what these games are and what our students can do. That we're going to go through them in order from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior to masters. And I'm going to talk some about the nature of the different levels as we get to them. But since we're going to start with the freshman games, I'll start explaining there. The freshmen are using the Zero engine. This is the proprietary internal engine that DigiPen uses to make games initially for both our summer programs and labeled as Project Fun. That's for anyone who's under 18 and at various ages through there. We use that engine to teach people the basics of game development. But the freshmen here use it as well to create their games. All of these are made in teams, as you will see as they come up. But this shows you even just what our freshmen are capable of. There's a lot of cool games here, and it really shows that even right off the bat, the freshmen here are very passionate about making games, really poured themselves into it and have made some excellent stuff. So we're going to start off, we're going to go through about 10 freshman games here, then we're going to show you a montage of a whole bunch of the other ones, just because there's so many of them. And we can only really, in a show like this, show you about a dozen individually, but we're going to show you a montage of a bunch of others as well. So to start with, come on over.
Hi, so my name is Ian Robb, this is Dylan Martino, and that's Chris Canoe. We are always Walrus, Never Bear, and we're here to show you our game, Color Ninjas. Play the video, please. Color Ninjas is a fast-paced multiplayer deathmatch game where you hide in color. Our core gameplay was inspired by the sword-fighting mechanics of Halo 3, specifically the one-hit kills and parrying by attacking at the same time. This type of system creates a really natural rhythm that we want to tap into for Color Ninjas. Our visual style was inspired by an episode of Samurai Jack where the titular protagonist has to fight a ninja dressed in all black while he is dressed in all white in a really cool black and white environment. It's a great episode, you should go watch it. In Color Ninjas, players can attack in 4 directions, up, down, left, and right. This simple and straightforward control scheme emphasizes quick decision-making and reflexive Twitch gameplay. Color Ninjas is shipping with 10 multiplayer levels for players to battle across, and 5 single-player time challenge levels for players to hone their skills. Altogether, Color Ninjas is a unique take on a multiplayer stealth game. There's also a little something special if you manage to beat all the challenge levels. Alright, we are always Wallace, Never Bear. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Griffin Downs, lead designer and producer of Team Breezy. Along with me are Gabriel Chenier, our technical director, and Sean Lawrence, our product manager. Today we'd like to show with you our game, Bubs. Bubs is a 2D side view exploration game featuring our main character, Bubs. It's linked by cuteness as you play as Bubs in order to explore and collect the smaller bubble brethren. Serving as the main collection mechanic of the game, the goal of Bubs is to bring these smaller bubbles to pedestals, which will unlock the next biome. As you explore the exciting and dangerous world of Bubs, you'll get the chance to dive deep into the earth across our 2 distinct biomes. Each biome comes with its own set of hazards, visuals, and unique level design. You're expected to die very many times playing Bubs, but that's okay. There are no guns, no scores, and no lose conditions. We aim to create a whimsical and non-punishing environment for the player to enjoy. We hope you enjoy our game as much as we love making it. Thank you.
We are Team Dandelion. My name is Anthony Sauls. This is Nick Galesian, Andrew Dillon, and Kevin Doe. And our game is called Super Orc Puncher. It's a top-down 2D action rhythm game in which you punch orcs for fame, glory, and gold. One of the first things you'll notice is as you punch orcs, every time that happens, you get a randomly generated pitch in the key of A minor pentatonic. So you get a little fun little tune as you punch the orbs. There are also potions. These potions enhance your abilities and are able to give you all sorts of extra perks while you're playing. You're also able to equip comments to a character, and if you're doing that, you put the special effects go into place, all of you can tie to one of the 4 elements. And with this, the game actually gets faster and more difficult. If you exceptionally well, you can do this and then match all the buttons on the keyboard press and roll. We are Team Dandelion, and we only have one question for you, and that is,
Do you punch orc?
Real quick, I just want to say happy birthday to my daughter. She turns 3 today. Love you, sweetie. Roll, please. Hello, everyone. We are Drudgery Entertainment. I'm Dylan's uncle, the lead designer. With me is Christopher Onorati, our producer, Chase Raymond, our technical director, and Connor Deacon, our product manager. Fusor is our 2D side-scrolling platform shooter where you and up to 3 of your friends navigate through a derelict spacecraft fighting off against a swarm of alien infestors that have left their ship in a state of disarray. In Fusor, you have 4 distinct classes to choose from to combat these enemies. Our first class, the green, is our Commando. Commando has a standard rifle with a perk of creating an area of damage boost for his teammates. Our explosives expert has grenades and a horizontally moving kernel shell that fires projectiles both up and downward directions. Our technician has a shock rifle to fire multiple enemies in a horizontal fashion and a turret that he can deploy in the facing direction. Lastly, we have the medic with our beam cannon and the ability to heal both himself and teammates. In Fusor, you navigate through typical point A to point B levels while intermittently being tossed into arenas in which you'll have to kill a set amount of enemies to proceed. But that's okay because we do have combinable weaponry, which, you never know, might be useful against this guy. Once again, we're Drudgery Entertainment. This has been Fusor. Thank you.
Okay, so we're Team Freshly Baked Games, and this is our game Cosmic Expanse. Concept is this is a 2D spaceship combat game in which the player explores a randomly generated galaxy. There's 3 main goals: to collect scrap, level up, and defeat the final boss.
Since most of our game content is procedurally generated, such as the background objects, the enemies, and the loot, we really wanted to encourage the player to explore the world to their desire. So to do this, as the player gets further away from the center and explores, the loot will get better and the enemies will also get much more difficult. In our game, we've got many enemies to fight. We've got 2 different types of AIs, and then 3 types of enemies. And once the player gets further away from the center, the player will encounter the boss to fight. Thank you for listening. We're Freshly Baked Games, and this is our game Cosmic Expanse.
Good morning, my name is Nicholas Cameron. Joining me today are Kyler Elmer and Daniel Hudson. We're Hindsight Games. And today we're going to be showing you our 4-player arena game called Magic.
A university lifted into the sky, filled with mad professors who force their students to fight for their amusement. In the arena, they are equipped only with their reflexes and their magic. But in this world, magic can't kill. So what's a wizard to do? Magic. Push! Unleash your magic to throw your enemies into deadly traps. Pull! around the arena or yank your foes past you and into their doom. Activatable traps. The professors, in the depths of their insanity, alter the local wildlife. Will you use them to your advantage or succumb to their deadly adaptations? Tutorial. Learn the ins and outs of your skills so you can crush your foes. Time trials. Test your skills against the clock inside the bowels of the university. And can you survive?
Not the bees!
Magic.
We were Hindsight Games. Thank you.
Hello, we're Patchy and the Beards, and we're here today to talk to you about our game, Spacegetball. Spacegetball is a 2D top-down, action-packed sports experience with retro shooter sensibilities. We designed this game to be a competitive multiplayer game that is both fun to watch and fun to play. In Spacegetball, 4 players compete against each other in teams of 2 over control of the ball and the field. Players must use the various means they have at their disposal to capture the ball, defend, and score enough points to win. Skilled movement and positioning are very important, as players must buzz around the stage, boost, and brake to capture the ball and avoid pursuers. Players can defend with shots that steal the ball and mines that help them control the battlefield, as well as shields to block shots. Players must pass and shoot effectively to score points. This game uses vibrant colors to help identify the players and simple feedback to convey information. This is so players and spectators can better understand the fast-paced gameplay. This game is also tough to master, as players must use effective teamwork, communication, and proper usage of abilities, allowing players to come back time and again to improve. Thank you. We're Patching the Beards.
All right, good morning, everyone. We are 7 Maybe 8, and this is Bewilderbot. So, Bewilderbot is a 2D puzzle platformer where the player navigates the levels by completing various electrical circuits and manipulating other technologies such as pressure plates and levers. And as they progress, they also run into wires, of course. And then as the player continues on, they'll run into more complicated puzzles that involve more integrated circuits and technologies. And then we run into hazards such as lasers or our robots that can actually serve as a means of completing puzzles.
So Bewilderbot actually uses a very modular system, so it's very easy to crank out levels for when we have ideas for them. The ambient sound is also adaptive to as you complete levels. More sounds will be going on in the background. It will sound like a more living environment as you complete the game. That was Bewilderbot. Thank you for watching.
Hey, we're Team Space Mindu, and this semester we worked on a 2D retro-style brawler called AWX 1.4. As you'd probably expect with the brawler, AWX 1.4 features a combo system in which players can combine attacks together to perform powerful finishing moves. You can power up these attacks and other character stats by collecting gears off of fallen foes and spending them in the shop. The ultimate goal of AWX 1.4 is to defeat Regalbot, but to get to him you have to fight through many waves of robot minions. Some levels are made more dangerous by the inclusion of hazards such as floor spikes and fire traps. Every so often, the players will face a boss level, which are designed to be more challenging and more action-packed than your typical level, and I'm just going to let these levels speak for themselves. And we're Team Space Mindy. Thanks for watching.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here and thank you for watching online. We are Team Two Tone and this is our game Florb. Florb is a 2D action platformer in which you will be jumping and dashing through the world, trying to reach the end of the level. Florb uses an energy system in which you land on platforms to regain your strength, and you can also destroy enemies by using your dash attack and gain extra energy that you'll hold in an energy ring around you. There are numerous types of different hazards and enemies in our levels, and you will have to try and get past them despite them harassing you until you fall to your doom. If you fall off the level, you will have to restart the level in its entirety and try again. If you are skilled enough to reach the end of the level, you will reach the next level and hopefully earn a new high score that you can compete with your friends. Our enemies come well equipped with different sorts of harassing weapons and different styles of movement and pathing options. And if you find the right spot, they may even help you out. There are numerous numbers of addicting levels to play, and so I hope you have fun dashing and jumping your way through them all. I hope that you can master them and have a great time playing Florb. Thank you. We are Team Two Tone.
All right, that was all our freshman games that we're going to show you for you there. Lots of great stuff. Really, some stuff I want to play, especially Orc Puncher. So excellent games there. One of the things you should know if you're out there on the internet just looking in is that even on those freshman teams, we've got game designers, programmers, sound designers, even artists helping out, probably a CE student in there somewhere as well. So we have a lot of multidisciplinary teams here, even starting at the freshman year. So now we're going to show you the freshman montage. And so it's not going to be, of course, as detailed. We don't have the teams coming up here, but here's a bunch more of the freshman games just to give you a feel for what they've done this year. So as you can see, just from the freshman year alone, there's a ton of good stuff out there. So now we're going to move on to the sophomore games. So we got a bunch of these, about 18-ish or so, that we're going to show you. But always remember, even from what we show you, it's only a fraction of the games that are actually made here every year. So with these games, there's a slight difference. Now that they're into their sophomore year, the vast majority of the games you're about to see are built from scratch in C++. These are custom engines. That's not particularly easy to do, and it's something that we have all our Bachelor of Science students do so that they really understand how engines work. There's nothing like actually building the engine to understand how to use even the commercial engines that are out there. There's a couple in here that are all pure game designer teams that use pre-built engines like the Zero Engine or Unity, but the vast majority of what you're about to see is custom built from the ground up.
We are Aeon Horizon. This is our game, Octopuckle. Octopuckle is a casual multiplayer flicking game where players compete to hit the most fish to gain points as well as play mini-games. Mini-games are a short, concise experience where players play to compete over a single objective to create more player interaction. And of course, both those things combined with our art and our audio is designed to create a childish experience for people of all ages to enjoy and play the various games we have going on, including get the rings, hit the golden fish, and keep the crown to yourself. And finally, late in the game, beware the whale. He'll come on screen and wreck your face with his bubbles. We've been Aeon Horizon. Thank you.
Hello, we are Allegro Games, and this is our game Beatdown. Beatdown's a rhythm-based fighting game where the player will use music to boost their attacks. We have 4 playable characters, which each one is based off of different instruments. We have 2 melee players, our guitar, who's really up close, quick, but not as quick as our oboe, who's all about stunning the player and getting as many hits as he can. We have 2 range characters, our drum that's more mid-range, about hitting the player, but if someone gets close, they can push him back with their heavy attack. And then our piano, who's all range, and her heavy attack is mid-range. When a player hits on the beat, their attacks will change, giving them more strength and more variety to use. The player does not get punished if they don't hit on the beat, and that's Allegro Games. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason Birch, the producer, and this is our team, Bear King. This is just a fraction of our team, but the rest of them are here in spirit. In a sanctioned-off laboratory in a highly respectable and high-security top-secret structure ran by the most influential scientists of our day, everyone waits patiently as one team of biologists present their brainchild of over 20 years of research. On one slide, there are 4 of the most deadly, highly adaptive genetic materials ever to exist. The microorganism that remains will begin a new era of genetic drift. Genetic Drift is a 2D top-down twin-stick multiplayer action shooter where you and your friends, or bots if you're lonely, create organisms to fight by dynamically choosing from a wide selection of abilities. Prove your genetic superiority by using the environment and skill synergy to your advantage in this microscopic deathmatch. Beer King. This was our game Genetic Drift. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We are Team Binary Tsunami, and this is our game Banana Blaster. So, Banana Blaster is a top-down space adventure shooter with lots of bananas. This game has been developed over the course of one semester from scratch, including the engine, physics, audio, and graphics. It has been a pleasure to work on this project with Sean, Lars, and Jacob, who are huge talented individuals and insane hard workers, and I will let the game speak for itself. This has been our game Banana Blaster. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, I'm Mickey Cushing, and this is Ryan Baker, and we're the designers on Team Nuts. Our artist, Bernie Hansen, was the driving force behind the game, but he was not able to make it to game. Nuts is a 2D isometric, 4-person cooperative, wave-based, class-based brawler where players play as forest critters defending their forest from waves of monsters that are attacking. Now here's Ryan Baker to talk about design.
So as a cooperative game, we decided to have each of the characters embody a specific class that would bring various strengths and weaknesses to the team. So on the screen you're seeing the 4 characters, the hedgehog, the squirrel, the raccoon, and the skunk. I'm going to go over their abilities now. The hedgehog is the tank. He has higher survivability stats, the ability to pull aggro away from his allies, as well as the ability to defend himself for a brief duration, also repelling damage. The squirrel has the ability to heal his allies with his auto attacks, as well as create a tree that creates a healing pulse every few seconds and a damaging AoE ability. The skunk has area denial and poison-based damage that allows him to do a lot of damage over time, as well as prevent units from moving from various sides of the screen. And the raccoon is the assassin, so he has lower survivability, but a higher damage and higher weapon as a result. As you can see, we have various enemies and boss fights present in the game, so we hope that you can join together with your friends and take down the robbers that are trying to take down the forest in our game Nuts. We have been Team Nuts, and this is our game Nuts Forest Frenzy. Thank you for watching.
Hello, we are the Adjective Noun, and this is our game Ripple. Ripple is a 2D water physics game in which you manipulate a player through an environment using ripples by clicking on the screen. The goal of the game is to collect petals, which you'll see whenever you collect them, a HUD will come up, letting you know which ones you've missed and which ones you still need to collect. The only negative factor in the game is the whirlpools, which when you fall into them will send you back to the next checkpoint. Beyond that, they don't do that much else. We did not want to focus on punishing the player. As you go through the game, you'll go through morning, day, and night, and your player will change and the environment around you will change. It's because we wanted to create a really relaxing and just visually nice environment. We didn't want any game moments to be too high intensity or too adrenaline driven. We just wanted to let the player flow through the game and enjoy themselves.
We're the Edge of Down, and this is our gamer pool. Thank you for listening.
Hello, we are Hitbox, and this is our game Angel. Angel is a 2D, top-scrolling RPG bullet hell. What sets it apart from the usual bullet hell, one of the things is our upgrade system, which is shown here. The upgrade system allows you to augment different abilities that the player currently possesses.
Like other bullet hells, the main focus of Angel is to fight through waves of enemies. Each one of these enemies has its own unique and different bullet patterns that has its own varying difficulty to dodge. Enemies also drop these pickups on death that, when collected by the player, grant them experience, which can be used to purchase the various upgrades in order to further augment and upgrade your abilities. At the end of each level is also a boss. Each of these bosses has its own unique and different abilities that the player will have to learn how to avoid in order to defeat them and win each level. Each boss is present at the end of the level to provide an interesting and different challenge. The player does all this to search for a friend. Once again, we're Hitbox, and this has been Angel.
Hello everyone, we are Team Yarbus and we are proud to present our game Tread Lightly.
Tread Lightly is a poetic experience of a character stuck in a dark and dead world. But they possess a special lantern that allows them to see a beautiful world underneath. And with this lantern, they can traverse through obstacles and make their way through the world.
That was our game Tread Lightly. Hope you can check us out at www.teamyarbus.com.
Hello, we are Team JCN Labs, and this is our game Wild Roar.
Hello, I'm Jacob Nelson, the Technical Director of Wild Roar. Wild Roar is a cooperative platformer. The player can take the role of our 4 unique characters, Samson the Lion, Chromio the Robot, Styx the Cockroach, and Reznor the Alien. All of these characters have their own strengths and weaknesses that can really shape the way you play the game. Our focus for the game was to construct a fun, playful environment, which which promotes both exploration and cooperation. In order to do this, we've added plenty of collectibles, enemies, and challenges to keep you wanting more. There are plenty of ways to compete with your friends by fighting over musical notes and other secret items. Wild Roar's playstyle is up to the player. When players jump into Wild Roar, I want them to laugh. I want them to smile. But most importantly, I want them to have fun.
We were JCN Labs. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. We're Team Blunderbuss. This is our game, Antigia. Antigia is a 2D isometric, wave-based couch co-op. Set on a mystical floating island in the sky, a mysterious phenomenon has started neighboring islands to collide with the mainland. Players will fight waves of golem-like creatures who arrive with every landmass collision. Throughout the course of the game, each players will gain access to various projectile weapons, magical traps, and other abilities. Procedural island generation ensures a unique experience with every playthrough. Only with coordinated fire and strategic trap placement will players be able to survive the waves and win the game. And now for an action sequence and an island collision. Team Blunderbuss, this is Antigia. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We are Team Casual Baby Ducks, and this is our game Omniarch. Roll the video. So Omniarch is a 2D character action game where players play as a rebel trying to take down the rogue AI government known as the Omniarch. As the rebel, you'll have to traverse the city and overcome obstacles and beat up robots along the way. You are equipped with a robot-like huge arm which packs a powerful punch. You can use this arm to pick up objects and throw them at your enemies. The ultimate goal of the game is to get to the center of the city to take down the Omniarch. So our game was made from the ground up in a custom engine with custom sound and art provided by our content team.
Montage Olympia Ducks. We hope to see you playing our game soon.
We are Radiance, and this is our game, Miraculous.
Today is a crucial moment in human history. Today we will show you that nothing is certain, that anything is possible, that sometimes the end is just the beginning.
This cure of yours, what makes you so sure that it will result in the reanimation of the patient? The board needs some kind of assurance to continue the funding.
We're glad you asked, Mr. Chairman. The patient you see before you recently expired, but my colleague and I have worked for months to develop a cure. A cure for the end, a new beginning. We will show you today that we can bring him back with a substance that we have dubbed simply miraculous.
Miraculous is a game about a miracle fluid injected into the body of an individual consumed by disease. The player takes control of this miracle fluid and fights their way through the body. They will face many dangerous foes, but none more dangerous than the source of the disease itself. However, if they can eliminate the disease at its source, they might just save the individual. And that would be miraculous. Thank you.
Good morning. We are Snake Eyes Games, and today we are proud to present Eyes in the Dark. Video, please. Our game is a 2D survival game in which late one night the player becomes trapped in a factory. Factory generator powered out, elevators to the exits were cut, and so to get out, the player must find necessary parts, make the repairs. Very simple. But the player is not quite alone this night. Many dangerous and strange creatures, along with the player, have worked their way into the factory. These are strange and dangerous enemies the player has to fight or run from simply. And safety is not promised. If the player is not careful, well, that's that. And then the goal becomes clear. Find the parts, fix the generator, get out alive. That was Eyes in the Dark. Again, Snake Eyes Games. Thank you all very much. Have a good morning.
Hello everyone, we are Team Static Sheep, and we are here to present the Gigagravity Games. Welcome to the games, everybody. They're friendly entertainment. And entertainment for us is put robot friends, put it out, and is super friendly. Gaming Gravity Games is a 4-player couch brawler set in a zero-gravity arena. Players can take control of up to one of our 4 robots and battle it out in 6 rounds of this exciting game. Rounds consist of things like a free-for-all melee, a death tag juggernaut mode, or a sudden death mode. Players can use a variety of weapons like pistols, machine guns, shotguns, and rockets to kill each other and collect money and prizes. Players with the most tokens at the end of the game win. To get these chips, you have to win the round, or you have to gamble on the slots with all the money that you picked up by destroying your friends. But be careful, the arena's trying to kill you too, as it's filled with traps like grinders, asteroids, and big wheels that will constantly be in your way while you try to fight your friends. There are certain power-ups in the game to help you along the way. And killing your friends at point blank with a shotgun is super satisfying. We are Team Static Sheep, and we hope that you play our game soon. Thank you.
Alright, hey everybody, we're Team Orbis, and today we'll be showing off our game Elementium. Play the video, please. Alright, so Elementium is a 2D top-down arena-based shooter where the player wields the powers of elements to defeat enemies. Players have 4 elements abilities: earth, water, fire, and air, each with unique properties that can be launched. Each ability used can interact with the other abilities in dynamic ways. These abilities can create unique combinations that change the way the game is played. Each of the elements are used very differently. Fire is used defensively. It is the slowest projectile, but it creates the most amount of force on impact. Earth is used defensively. Placing down rocks will protect the player from incoming projectiles. Wind is the fastest, and is used to interact with the other elements, such as creating bubbles, which reflect elements, or speeding up the slower projectiles. Water is special. It is used to slow the other enemies down, and of course, it puts out fire. The main activity in Elementium is completing challenges. Some of the challenges are strategic, where the amount of elements fired or the number of objects destroyed matters. Other challenges are simple shooters, where the player just needs to destroy as many targets as they can in a given amount of time. Elementium also has a score saving service, which will save your high scores so you can share it with your friends. This has been Elementium, and we were Team Orbis. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we're Team Rocket, and this is our game, Breakfast Apocalypse. Good video.
The Wizard Battle!
In Breakfast Apocalypse, you and your friends work together to defeat corrupted breakfast enemies. More players can join the action at any time, up to a maximum of 4 players. And then as you and your friends explore the world, you can find pure, uncorrupted breakfast foods that will augment your magical attack, increasing their potency in battle. These power-ups will help you on your quest to save breakfast. As the world darkens, it's up to you and your friends to save both breakfast and restore the light to the world. Again, we're Team Rocket, and this is our game, Breakfast Apocalypse.
Okay, start the video. Hello, we are Transparent Media.
Yep, and this is our game, Girl I See Right Through You. Girl I See Right Through You is a poetic platformer in which you assume the role of Bethany, the ghost of a 10-year-old girl who returns to the town she grew up in after several years of absence to find its citizens not as happy as they were when she first left them. It becomes her job to travel into the subconscious minds of 3 citizens to help them overcome some of their problems of grief involved in her disappearance. Now it involves 2 different gameplay modes. What you were seeing previously was an example of the overworld, where you're traversing around the town to talk to several NPCs. It's a very much adventure game inspired mode. What you're seeing now is an example of the platform segments, which are more of a traditional experience that you'd see in like a Mario type game, where it's very much about dodging various obstacles, but it's done so in a metaphorical sense. So it's telling a story through various gameplay elements, which contrasts to the more literal story previously told in these story segments. And together, I think that they tell an interesting story about grief acceptance. This has been our game, and thank you very much for listening.
Hello everyone, we are Team Null and Void, and this is our game, Clock Struck None. Clock Struck None is a 2D puzzle platformer where the player will need to switch between levels to complete each puzzle. Along the way, Watch will collect gears that he can use to open windows from one room to another to progress throughout the levels. Windows can either be helpful or hurtful, so players will need to think wisely about when they want to turn a window on and when they want to turn it off. As Watch progresses, the challenges get harder and harder, and players will need to think about room switching and windows in completely different ways. Windows are also able to move objects from one room to another. And through this, we create a whole new level of depth to our puzzles. As Watch progresses through the clock, the challenges get harder and harder, and the obstacles get more and more difficult. We are Team Clock Struck None, and this is our game. Or we are Team Null and Void, and this is our game, Clock Struck None. Thank you.
All right, that was all the sophomore games that we were showing. That's fantastic stuff, really. I mean, you have to understand, as an instructor in these classes, and all the instructors who do this know, it's always startling to see when you get to the end of the semester and see how far these games has come. I mean, it's a big difference from when they started. It's a big difference from the end of last semester. But honestly, for a lot of them, it's a big difference from 2 weeks ago. Students pour in a ton of work to get these games to this level. It's really impressive. So while there's great gameplay, great art, great technology, and all of those, I also really want to call out the sound design and the music. Our BS-ESD students, Bachelor of Science in Engineering and Sound Design, and BA-MSD, especially Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design, have started making sound effects and music for so many of our games here. It has transformed the nature of audio in DigiPen games. It's fantastic stuff. It's the heart and soul of these games, and I really appreciate all the hard work they've done. So now we'll move on to the junior games. We've got another 16, 18 junior games to show you. Again, always just a fraction of the games that were actually made. These are just the ones we're showing in the showcase today. So here, we do have games that are in pre-built engines. There's a number of them using Unity. I think there's even a Unreal one at the junior level, maybe only at the senior, and some with the Zero engine as well. But still, the majority of these games, even the complex 3D ones, are built from scratch in C++. They're graphics engines, they're physics engines, all of that is done from scratch by a large number of our students. So keep that in mind when you see these. You're going to see some impressive stuff, but it's a huge amount of this is just built by our students. So here are the junior games.
Play the video, please. Hello, we're Team 360 Overscope, and this is our game, Trouble in Toy Town. Trouble in Toy Town is a couch multiplayer game where 4 players assume the role of toys instead of a toy box. All 4 players are attached together by ropes, and the goal is to collect the most buttons and hindering the other people's progress from doing so. You can also dash to increase the momentum of the group as a whole, and we have added speed power-up that actually enhances its ability, giving you an extra edge. We have put a lot of emphasis in our physics, and we have made an integral part of our gameplay and our environment, making for a very cloud and looking experience. Enjoy the rest of the video. Again, we're Team 360 Overscope, and it's our game, Trouble in Toy Town.
Start the video, please. Hi everyone, I'm from Advanced Party, and this is our game, Short Circuit. You play as a technician lost in a robotics manufacturing facility where you find out that robots have turned corrupted and you have to escape this facility. It's a 3D fast-paced action shooter game where you're armed with your trusty machine gun and the ability to absorb environmental powers. So the game is completely built from scratch using a custom engine, and even though I'm here alone, I worked on this game with 5 of my fellow teammates who are actually back in Singapore right now, and throughout our development process we've actually worked on the game for a total of 4 months while being in different countries. So if you like really challenging, fast-paced action games, once again, this is Short Circuit.
Hello everyone, we are Team Atmos, and this is our game, Discord. Discord is an action arena game set within an interactive EP. Each level is a track where you fight through enemies in waves composing of segments of songs. 2 visualizers make up the arena, one for gameplay, the player fights through, and one in the backdrop which responds to both music and player actions. At your disposal is an orb which you can both shoot out and recall to you to hit enemy sweet spots and kill crucial objectives to progress to the next round. With a unique sound design that the gameplay centers around, Discord sets itself apart from the other games that you'll see here today, with a high focus on balancing both musical quality and the visuals, creating that intense atmosphere that draws the player in for more. I'll let the rest of the video play for itself and you can see exactly what Discord is made of. We are Team Atmos, and this was Discord. Thank you.
We're Aurora, and this is our game Aeon.
I look to the stars. I see so many friends. Always somebody there to help me time and time again.
Aurora is made up of 11 students from various disciplines at DigiPen Institute of Technology. This past year, we've been working on a game called Aeon in Unity 4. In Aeon, Orion has been pulled from the sky by the shadowy primordial Erebus. He finds himself in the world of the old gods with nothing but the light of his old hunting partner Artemis to guide him. As he explores the world, he can collect his fallen stars, eventually becoming powerful enough to defeat Erebus and return to his place in the sky. We found that players enjoyed using these abilities in a large open world, so we created just that. Our artists were able to create visually rich elements that populate the world, and our sound designer made many emotive soundtracks to match. We hope that you will enjoy the world of Aeon and help Orion find his place amongst the stars.
We're Aurora, thank you.
Hello everyone, we are DigiPen Games and we're here to show off our game Chronomancers. It's a 4-player couch co-op game in which you have to rid the world of giant mythical creatures. We hope you enjoy the trailer. Roll the video please. We've been DigiPen Games, that was our game Chronomancers. Thank you.
I'm from DigiPen Books, and this is our game Obelisk. So the main character is trapped in a shadow world with his friend Fairy together holding a light. So he must get across the level by manipulating through the shadow. So we have puzzles like the interactive environment and also a sun clock as a puzzle to get across the level. So this game is entirely built from scratch without any use of any engine.
So this is Obelisk. Thank you very much.
Hello, we're Team Nova, here to present you our game today, Crystallite, a top-down co-op hack and slash where players defeat hordes of living gemstone enemies to compete for riches. Our game currently consists of 4 weapon classes. The first shown here is the volatile bomber class. Characterizing risk versus reward, the bomber deals powerful area damage while risking some of their own health with every blast. Our second class is the shield. With a light offense but reliable defense, the shield is perfect for team play. The Claymore deals sweeping attacks for moderate damage, making it an excellent choice for large swarms of weaker enemies. And the Hammer, while slow, deals massive damage and can take down more powerful enemies with a single strike. The objective of Crystallite is to collect more gold than your friends. At the end of every game, the winner is determined based on gold. But gold's not just for points. Gold also fuels powerful super abilities, unique to every weapon, which can clear entire encounters. A new super, shown here, grants the bomber incredible range and destructive power. As a team-based game, it's important to bring friends that you trust along with you to dungeons. Because at the end of every game is a powerful boss encounter. Consisting of many unique phases and small minion fights, bosses will be a challenging test of everything that you've learned. Once again, we're Team Nova, and this has been Crystallite.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Dahlia here with Pocket Dragon Games, and we're here to show you DigiPen's first Wii U title, Doodle Dash. Doodle Dash is a drawing-based minigame collection made exclusively for the Wii U. We tried to leverage our strengths as a design-oriented team while also making the most use of this unique hardware. The gameplay in Doodle Dash involves one player with the Wii U gamepad drawing words while the other players are trying to guess what that player is drawing. We modify this formula to create the mini-games, and then use those mini-games to create Doodle Dash. Each mini-game throws unique obstacles at the players, where they're forcing the drawing player to draw under certain constraints, or having the guessing players with obstacles in their way to make it harder for them to guess. This game highly rewards creativity, quick thinking, and communication amongst its players. And there is no previous art skill required to enjoy this game to its fullest. Here at Pocket Dragon Games, we're excited to introduce to you Doodle Dash, and we hope you're excited to hear more from us in the future. Thank you.
Hello, we are Team Quantum Lock, and this is our game, formerly known as Scale, now known as Void Guardian. Void Guardian is a 3D, third-person space shooter where you must defend your civilization's final haven against the insect-like swarm that destroys all that they come across. Void Guardian, you will deal with the advanced scouts first, but as they realize the threat that you pose, they will come against you as well. And as you bear this onslaught against your home and yourself, you will, they will bring the full might of their army against you. but there's something bigger lurking in the shadows, and it is both immense in size and in power, and it can destroy all that you hold dear. So prepare yourselves, and thank you.
Hello everybody, we are Team Spaghetti on the Floor. We're a group of 6 designers with some level of music and art skills of our own. And I'd like to talk to you about the process that brought us to Dominate TV. Now, we've all worked on projects in the past that were over-scoped and ultimately had a lot of content cut out of them. So instead we chose to focus on a simple game with a strong core mechanic and build upwards and let it become over-scoped in a more manageable way. Now, what does this mean for our project? For starters, it meant that our models were going to be robots because it's something that we could easily and correctly model. And for our music, we use various software to generate our songs from loops, such as the song you're listening to now. For gameplay, we knew we wanted to do a shooter. We knew we wanted it to revolve around evolving gameplay. So this meant that we wanted to reward players based on the actions they've done from round to round. Now, after struggling with trying to create a system that could keep track of every single little action that a player could do, we ultimately decided to scrap that and go with allowing players to customize their robots from the very beginning. Now, with this change from our focus being evolution to now customization, we decided it was also really important for us to provide visual feedback to the players and change the models to reflect the upgrades that they had selected. Thus, the birth of Dominate TV, a customization couch play first-person shooter that encourages players to discover a variety of combinations and upgrades to discover the most possibly powerful and absurd combinations possible to destroy, decimate, and ultimately dominate their opponents. Thank you. That's our game, Dominate TV, and we are Spaghetti on the Floor.
Start the video, please. Hello there, everyone. We are Team Enzo. We invite you all to download and play all of the games from the DigiPen Game Gallery. And we hope that you will enjoy and experience firsthand the epicness we've tried to achieve in making our game. Colossal. Imagine that the great Roman Empire had never fallen, and that gladiators could once again fight in the Colosseum for honor, fame, and glory. These brave gladiators have entered the esteemed gladiator games, where the skill and wit of the contestant is pushed to the limit each round. But in the new Rome, gladiators fight piloting giant mechs based off of the various gladiator archetypes. The gladiators must be swift and use the environment of the arena to best their opponents. The gladiators that fail to do so will be defeated. Whereas the winner will be immortalized in the heart and mind of Rome as spectators from around the world come to witness this rise of champions. Again, we are Team Enzo, and thank you for watching the trailer of our game, Colossal.
Hey guys, we are Team Mocha, and we're here to present Subject Redacted to you. This is built in our custom Mocha Studio engine. It's an asymmetrical co-op survival horror experience featuring VR. One player is trapped in a surveillance room, that's our VR player, and they're communicating with each other to escape this containment facility for monsters. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the trailer. And, are Team Mocha. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we are Team Sonata, here to present to you our game, Sound of the Rain. Start the video, please. Sound of the Rain is a physics puzzler where the player is creating parts of a song. The player's goal is to hit a number of star blocks in the level with the falling droplet that bounces around. At their disposal is a number of additional blocks that they can move and rotate and arrange any way they please to create the solution they want. With each block hit, the ball plays a note, and when the puzzle is completed, all of the notes that were played during the level are strung together into a new instrumental layer that is incorporated into the song. The two people you see up here are the only two members of Team Sonata. We have worked really hard all year because we wanted to create a simple, polished experience that players can just pick up really easily and enjoy. We also have Karen McCullough to thank for additional art help and guiding of our art style. Team Sonata. Thank you.
Hello, we are the Armory, and this is our game, Gun It. Gun It is a 2.5D cooperative top-down shooter. So it's a bit of a callback to old top-down shooters, except there's a bit of a twist. We've got two players, and it's also a driving game. One player takes the wheel of a futuristic supercar, and the other takes control of the weapon systems. Two players need to cooperate in order to blast their way through hordes of Mega Corporation robots after their heist on the Mega Corporation goes live. Let me talk a bit about the weapons you're going to see in the Gun It. You've got your standard ray gun and machine gun, but then you've also got the Vindicator, a chain gun so powerful it knocks the car back when you fire, the rail gun, which tears through everything it hits in a line, and the Replicator cannon, an energy weapon that feeds off of enemies caught in its blast and can quickly clear rooms. Alright, again, we are the Armory, and that was Gun It.
Hey guys, we're the Kirti Experience, and yes, if you're curious, it is. All rights reserved, Kirti. And we're here to present our game. It's a poetic experience about 4 kids trying to find their way in the world. So it's an exciting take on dodgeball, and we've added random party rules that are going to change every match. Each match is different from the next. And these are different party modes that we have that change. And we have a random generator at the beginning of each match. And here's an example of all the different game modes that are in the front. So make sure you look for us in the category with best product placement. And we are the Kirti Experience, and that's Extreme Dodgeball. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are Team Thunder Buddies and this is our game Power. Power is a 3D ball racer where players use elements to give themselves a racing advantage. Players choose between 4 main elements: earth, fire, wind, and water, each with their own unique powers ranging from earthquakes to tsunamis. Each element has 3 unique abilities. Players can choose to battle against our competitive AI or play against each other. The game takes place in space with a variety of tracks for players to race on. In the storm track, players must fight against heavy rain and wind in order to come out on top. There are many obstacles on this track, such as bouncy floors and raging rivers. Our checkpoint arches guide players where to go, so there will never be any confusion. As the race progresses, the rain increases, making it more difficult for the other players. Our next track is Meteor. In this track, meteors and fire fall from the sky and crash into the racetrack. Players must be agile in order to dodge these obstacles. This track has boost platforms which throw players into the air. Other obstacles include spinning flames and a flame cannon for players to dodge. There are many hidden shortcuts on this track that players can use to their advantage. This track was one of our favorites with our playtesters. At the end of the race, the winner is displayed in a triumphant glory. We are Team Thunder Buddies, and thank you for watching.
Hello, we are Team Trendy Cat, and we are here today to present our game, Civis.
So SIVSS is it's an acronym, and we don't remember what it stands for. But this is our game, and it's a 2D isometric fighting game, but with a bit of a twist. Either player can pause time to, or really slow down time quite a bit for the other player to take advantage of certain combos or something that they can attack the other player with. As you can see, this adds a bit of back and forth to the gameplay, where the other player is basically screwed when you do that, if you set them up in the right position, because you can do a lot of damage to them. And it's a bit of a twist on normal fighting games to kind of be a little bit more innovative. I'll just let you watch the trailer. So we built this game in our own custom engine, and we started on it at the beginning of this semester, and we've actually gotten pretty far. Playtesters have quite enjoyed it. So we have a variety of different maps to choose from, and it's best you have to get to 5. You have to win 5 rounds to beat the other player. Thank you.
All right, that was the junior games. Lots of great stuff there. Just like the sophomores, it's so impressive to see how far they've gotten, how well they've made these. A lot of these games aren't really even truly complete. They may look that way, but they're actually going to keep working on them for another semester for a lot of these teams. So when we show you all these games, I'm sure a lot of you out there on the internet would like to be able to play these. If you're actually already here at DigiPen, you can find these in the game submission folder, where there's an installers folder that you can go and get all the executables from. But we're also going to be putting these up on games.digipen.edu, our game gallery. That may take a week or two to get them all up there, but you're going to see a bunch of these games up there pretty soon. You're also going to see a bunch of games from Bilbao campus and the Singapore campus. Because remember, even though you're only seeing a fraction of the games that are made here at DigiPen when we show you all these, you're also not seeing any of the ones from Singapore or Bilbao. There's a lot of great games out of those campuses too, and those will go up on the game gallery as well. So look for those, not just the ones you're seeing in this presentation. So next up is the seniors. We've got about 7 senior teams, and of course there's not quite as many. A lot of people get internships, a lot of people then work on solo projects their senior year, but we've got a really strong slate of senior games this year. So you're going to see, again, just like with other ones, you're going to see some custom build stuff, but there's a lot more using Unity, using Unreal, using the Zero engine at the senior level. And so a lot of these are actually, the majority, in fact, are going to be pre-built engines, not custom engines. But it's a lot of great stuff. I think you're going to really like what you see for these guys.
Hello, everybody. We are Team Radio Galaxy, and we're here to present our game, Book of Dreams. Book of Dreams is a side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure game where you take control of children, 1 to 4 of them, and you fight through different worlds using your pillows to restore the Book of Dreams that has been torn apart by Nyx. As you defeat the enemies, you get different powers and abilities, and you also get to defeat unique bosses that are inside each world. With the aid of your friends, you can bring yourself back to life after you've perished, and use your special abilities to defeat large waves of enemies. With add-drop gameplay, you can join in or leave at any time, and you get to prepare the Book of Dreams. Thank you very much. We are Team Radio Galaxy. That is our game, Book of Dreams.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gita Laksmana, and this is Minwin. We are Team Double Trouble, and this is our game Dimension Battle. Dimension Battle is a 3D top-down arena shooter for the Android platform made using Unreal Engine 4. In this game, you play as a 2D square fighting against 3D bosses. You use touch gestures to move around and cast spells. There are 3 spells you can cast: a homing missile, a shockwave, and a time slow to give you a better edge in the battle. This has been Dimension Battle. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Griffin Dean, and this is Shadow Tag.
Rated E for effort.
Here's the shout tag operators. Fighting giant bugmen is our business. We fight them all around, underground, up the downtown town. Here, there, everywhere. What's it like fighting giant bugmen? You ever stepped on a bug? Sure you have. It's just like that, but bigger. Well, that concludes our little program. Hello and good night.
Oh, darling, hello, hello. I've done a little gaming and it's out of sight. I do it every day when I get home. I've never won a match, and that's fun, all right. But take my tip and leave my flag alone. Every single evening you will hear me yell things that get me punched in real life. I'm connecting to the server where my girlfriend dwells, and this is what I say when she's online. Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my gaming gal. Send me a kiss by wireless, baby, my heart's in Firefox. If you would troll me just for the low sleeves, I crush my heart and soul. So don your headphones and tell me who will pwn. Oh, darling, hello, hello.
Thank you.
Hello everybody, we are Team Negative Gravity, and we're here today to present Nightmare. Nightmare was built over the course of about 8 months by a core team of 2 designers and 5 artists. We also received significant help from other students throughout the production of the game. Nightmare is about Miranda, the main character of the game. It is up to the player to take control of her and to keep her alive and to return her to reality. One of the early design decisions that we made for the game was the on-rails camera system. This allowed the team to give a lot of attention to the areas that the players will experience themselves. That's Game Nightmare. Thank you.
Initiate the pontifex.
Hi guys, I'm David Stanley and this is Keith Talon. We're representing Team Buff Stuff and this is our game Kron. Kron is a multiplayer downhill competitive hoverboarding racing game. And our 2 big inspirations for Kron were combining SSX and Tron. So from SSX we brought the racing gameplay, a trick system which players can use to earn boost, and the hoverboarding system itself. From Tron we brought the light trails. So when players boost, they create a light trail. And in multiplayer, other players can consume your light trail for energy to try and win and take first place. Also during development, a new identity for the game emerged where we wanted to really focus on speed. And so we laid out several mechanics throughout the map to help players strategize and make their own route to get the fastest time possible. Now I'm going to pass it over to Keith to talk about development.
So everything that you're seeing here in this demo is actually made in a custom engine. And in a lot of ways, Kron was a really ambitious game from its onset. Unfortunately, we ran into a number of setbacks during our first semester of development, and we finished out about a milestone behind as of about January. That wound up being kind of a blessing in disguise for us, though, because it forced us to focus on what made the game fun and to make a lot of really drastic scope cuts. And I'm really proud of what we wound up with at this point. I'm also really proud of everybody on the team. And so yeah, this has been our game, Kron. Please check it out in the game gallery and vote for us if you like it. Thanks.
Thank you, Buff Stuff. We are Synaptic Sugar, and this is Relic.
Synaptic Sugar is made up of 25 students from the art, programming, game design, and sound design departments. Our goal is to build a game that immerses the player in a rich 3D environment. A captivating world, engaging gameplay, moving narrative, and a remarkable soundscape all work together to deliver a satisfying experience.
You sure the crystal's up here?
Logic dictates.
We'll know soon enough.
Indeed.
In our game, you play as Sam Ward, a relic hunter searching for an artifact aboard a derelict spaceship. Joined by your trusty AI unit, Gimbal, Grapple your way through the ship and claim your reward.
I don't know about this, Sam. The Thale weren't in the habit of leaving things behind.
Don't start getting soft on me now, Gimbal.
So what are you waiting for? Come explore our game and immerse yourself in the world of Relic.
We are from Epic Shaker. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Rumble TV, the only show this side of the galaxy to pit the worst of the galaxy's defenders against each other for your entertainment. Set on an abandoned world where only mayhem awaits, watch as three classes of convicts fight each other for the promise of both freedom and more annihilation at the hands of a unique weapon. Fan favorites include the agile and more than a little insane assault, the foreboding and powerful heavy, and the deadly precise sniper. Using the latest in Unreal technology, Rumble TV brings the combat live to your living room to see as these convicts do what they do best: death, destruction, and everything in between. They will burn down opposing minions, towers, and each other to get to the opposing base, equipped with volatile explosives that can blow at any moment. What's more is that we've equipped the arena with power-boosting orbs to give these convicts even more in their capabilities, unlocking new secret moves as the game progresses for more added chaos, all in the name of ratings. While these inmates work for the same goal, one thing is ensured at the end of the day: mutually insured devastation. Rumble TV is premiering this spring, brought to you by the Shots Fired Development Group. Tune in to see exactly what critics are calling a deathmatch on demand. This has been Rumble TV. Thank you.
So as you can see, those senior games are really quite impressive. It's really one of the strongest set of games I've seen out of a group of seniors, but really in a year. It's really nice stuff. Really impressed with what these guys have done. All those teams have done an incredible job. However, we also have we don't quite know, is this a senior? Was it junior? Is it sophomore? I mean, it doesn't really fit any of our other categories. And so what we're going to have next is about a game that isn't actually a digital game. Instead, it's a real life game. But I'll turn it over to the people who are running the game now, and they'll tell you more about it.
All right, start the video, please. Hi, folks. We are representatives of the Outbreak dev team here to talk to you about Outbreak. Outbreak is a live-action zombie apocalypse ARG where the players are split into two teams, humans and zombies. Human players are armed with foam Nerf blasters and socks in order to defend themselves against the zombies, who will try to tag them and turn them into more zombies. We are a team of 12 people, and the game runs once per semester for a whole week, 24 hours a day. Played exclusively outside in the different parking lots.
This current semester, we were actually comprised of 12 very dedicated students. However, we're going to need some new talent for the upcoming semester, especially over the course of summer development, where we're going to need to create some brand new mechanics and test them out thoroughly. If you have any interest in that, I highly recommend that you come talk to me. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Once again, this has been DigiPen Outbreak. Thank you very much for playing.
So DigiPen Outbreak is, of course, not a digital game, and while we're showing you almost exclusively digital games in this presentation, do realize that our game designers build a lot of non-digital games. They build card games, board games, role-playing games, all sorts of things that you don't normally see in the presentation. we might do this presentation at some point. They don't show quite as well just on a live stream, but there is a lot of cool work done in the non-digital realm by our game designers here as well. So next up, the last full set of students we're going to show you are the master's students. So if you weren't aware, DigiPen has a Master's of Science in Computer Science and a Master of Fine Arts as well. And so these students have gone to school either at DigiPen and gotten a degree, or most of them have gone to school at and got an undergraduate degree elsewhere, but then came to DigiPen to really learn how to make games. And as I think you'll see, they've succeeded. There's some really good stuff here, and so here's our master's students to show you what they've been up to.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Pillow Fort Games, here to present our game, Cardboard Kingdom. Cardboard Kingdom is a 3D cooperative beat-em-up where you are tasked with saving the kingdom of cardboard and toys. Frank the Frog and his henchmen have taken the magic top and plan to take over the world. You must bring it back before it's too late. Fight your way through a variety of colorful levels and cute but evil enemies in order to retrieve the stolen chalk pieces and save the kingdom from certain doom. There are 3 classes for you to choose from to suit your playstyle. The Cardboard Knight, a durable melee warrior that can take on groups of enemies and stun them with a charge. The Pillow Ninja, a nimble fighter that can take out multiple enemies with a pillow shuriken and turn invisible in a pinch. And the Dart Slinger, attacking enemies at a distance and able to push them back when they get too close. You and up to 3 friends must fight your way through our 3 bosses that each hold a chalk piece, and leading up finally to a fight with Frank the Frog himself. Once again, we're Pillow Fort Games. This has been our game, Cardboard Kingdom. Thank you.
Play the video, please.
We are Team Go Ninja, and this is our game, Meowgic. Meowgic is a 4-player third-person shooter, where you can play as one of 4 different cats and compete against each other in a battle to victory. There are 2 phases in Meowgic. In the first phase, the Gathering, players collect power-ups to boost their stats and gain advantage over other players. You can also attack other players to stop them from gathering power-ups. In this phase, different world events occur randomly, such as a magical piñata that appears for a short amount of time and drops power-ups when attacked by players. Or meteors falling from the sky, smashing whatever they hit, and breaking into power-ups when they hit the ground. For the second phase, there are 2 different game modes. In Locus of Control, players can vie for control of obelisks in a timed battle for dominance. In the Witching Hour, players compete against each other in a deathmatch arena until only one player remains victorious. Increase your powers and defeat your opponents in Meowgic.
Thank you, we're Team Go Ninja.
Hey guys, we are Team Phantasmal, here to present our game, A Snowball's Chance. A Snowball's Chance is a third-person couch co-op adventure game where player takes a role of a snowman who's trying to defend his town from the evil army of the snowman. Each level starts when the sun goes down and snowmen come to life. You get a whole night to crush the enemies and defend your town. You have various attacks that you can use, such as spin attack. You have a snow breath, which you can use to deflect your enemies. And the best and my most favorite of all is the bazooka head. In each level, you need to capture all the control points and defend them from the enemies to win the level. We also support up to 4-player co-op mode where you can play with your friends to defeat the army of the snowmen. You also can use your snow breath there to revive your friends. There's an epic battle in the end where you get to fight the leader of the snowman's army. Snowball's Chance was developed in about a semester with a team of 4 programmers, a sound designer, a 2D artist, and a game designer. Thanks for watching.
Good afternoon. My name is Cody Duncan. I'm here with Julian Wong, Kevin Verholz, Jonathan Massey, Matt Hurleman, and CJ Payne. We're a group of master students, and we're your team Tessely. This is our game, Dungeon Alpha Testers, where we mix dungeoneering and office politics. Roll the recruitment clip.
Hello, Group 34B, and welcome to Dungeon Depot.
Welcome, testers, to your first day at Dungeon Depot. What is a dungeon? Rooms, monsters, darkness, treasure, and most of all, you.
Do you have 20 minutes of swordplay experience and a middle school education? Then you're qualified for one of our 4 open positions testing Dungeon Depot's latest in multiplayer, procedurally generated dungeon combat experiences. Apply to be a Dungeon Alpha tester today and get free snacks in the break room. Thank you. We've been Team Tessely.
So that's almost all of the games we're going to show you today. That's really just, it happens every year, right? We show all these games, we've gone through so much for all of this, and in the end, it's really just, it reflects for me every year how much our students actually accomplish. If you haven't been through DigiPen, you don't quite grasp how much work goes into this, how much time these students spend, how much effort they do, because I mean, it's not like they're just making these games. They're going through an incredibly rigorous curriculum of academic material at the same time. It's an incredible amount of work. They've done an incredible job, and it's always just a privilege on my part to be able to be a part of it. So, we got one more thing for you though. One last game we want to show you. It's not, it is a senior game technically, but it's not like our other games. So I'll let the team that built it tell you what it's really about, but it's really the best game that you could ever wish for out of DigiPen.
Thank you, Ben. DJ, play that track. Hello, everybody. I'm Pierce Berg. I'm the team lead of Project Olympias.
I'm Devin Jensen, the technical director and co-lead. We have Corey Loomis here, the audio director. About 2 years ago, Pierce approached me and we were talking about how we both love to do community service, but we don't have enough time with our busy DigiPen schedules and our projects to do community service-based stuff. And so he came up with this idea earlier this year.
So we created our team called Project Olympias, and we brought along 14 other students from DigiPen from all the degrees. We started talking to various local organizations, and Make-A-Wish actually approached us and said they had a 15-year-old from Renton named Mason who had he wanted his dream game to be made.
So when he approached us, we didn't know what type of game he would want to make, if it was going to be a platformer, if it was going to be a top-down game, a racing game. And so what we started to do was create different prototypes and create different frameworks so that when he approached us with his game idea, we would be ready to go. So this is one of the prototypes we made earlier in the semester. This took us, it was actually a game jam, took us about 2 days. We threw this together, we threw a bunch of other different games together, because we didn't know what he would want to have made. So we wanted to be able to get going right away. He eventually sent us his game design documents outlining all the stuff he wanted to do. Attached with this were different art assets, which we ended up taking and turning into animations and characters in the game, as well as the game world and all the story behind it, which we took and fleshed out and actually turned into a full game. This was done over 3 meetings that we had here at DigiPen, upstairs in Socrates with Mason, and the game ended up being called Lord of the Bats. So Lord of the Bats follows Private Bat-A-Day as he traverses through the different worlds. There's the Cactus Sand Desert, there's the Mount Lupumus world, and there's Castleslow. Use your bat familiars to traverse the world and collect coins. There's a lot of fun different things that we would do throughout the game, and we would show Mason the different iterations of the game as we were playing through and ask him for his feedback, and he would say, yeah, I want more of this, I want less of this. So it's really cool just making the game, and there's, at the end of each world there's a boss that you play against. So this is one of the boss. Lord Low is in his tank, and you have to, you're on your robot sled, dodging lasers in slow motion. This kid's ideas were absolutely fantastic.
So in 2 weeks, we will be completing Mason's Wish. We're not quite done yet, and we'll be hosting the final Wish completion ceremony here at DigiPen, and we'll be delivering the final game to him. Our team has been, we're so excited for him to play the final game for the first time, and we've had an amazing time making the game for him.
So before we end, I want to kind of end on this note. One of the main goals of this project was to set a precedent. We want to show DigiPen students that it's possible, even with your heavy workload, to give back to the community and to give time to give to charity and community service. And so I want to issue a challenge to all of you guys. Find more time to give back, find more time to do community service, and if you think you can fit a service learning project into your project next semester, take a shot at it. We learned so much, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
So I can't think of a better project to actually end the showcase with, because I think it just exemplifies what DigiPen is about. So that's it for 2015 for the showcase. It's fantastic, everything that's been done. Go play the games, go vote for them. Voting is still open until 3 p.m. today. Of course, you do have to be a DigiPen student. You have to have a log on, so no one can stuff the votes for it. But we will come back at 8 o'clock tonight, same room for those of you here physically. It will be a different feed if you are on the internet. We will post it, but it'll be a different ID because we're creating a different event. But at 8 p.m., we will do the award show, so come on back to us then. Thanks a bunch.